Hello, my friends. Today we have a battle against our Kamon. Yeah, and Kamon said he was actually unluckier than I was. And I was like, really? Oh, fuck. So I look over at the Hags Goddess. I'm like, can you please just leave us alone for 30 minutes? Okay, we just want to have a nice game, nice fun game of Pokemons. And, well, she got half of it, right? So we're gonna get into this, bitch. And, like I say, I believe I told Gamer to just grab bag it. That's kind of what I tell everyone to do, because it's more fun that way, when you don't bring sort of special teams, because it's not like I brought one. Sorry, just having some coffee, waking up. Well, I didn't wake up this late. I usually do, but no, I actually got up a bit earlier. But we gotta wait for a little bit. Because I did have to cut out some of the waiting, and I'm kind of rambling, but now we can finally get into this, bitch. I've actually changed my lead, because as you know, I usually lead off with Terry, but whenever I lead off with Terry, something comes out that kicks his fucking face in, poor Terry. So I'm going to lead off with Marrow, because Marrow is cool. And I can get up a sub on this Gallade, because I honestly can't think of anything Gallade can really do that would bring me down to less than a sub, unless it's banded and it has close combat and Ice Punch. Those are the two things that really, really, really spring to mind. But since it's a lead, I have my doubts. So I'm literally just going to go straight for a sub, and there was a hell of a lot of weight in there, so I was kind enough to cut out some of it. So I'm just going to go for a sub, and in comes a Scarm. I'm like, I remember, I believe, wasn't it from X's battle, like, ages into this, or ages ago from this thing. Focus Punch did a little under half. A little smidgen under half. But I go for it anyway, as he goes Stealth Rocks. And, yeah, it does a little smidgen under half. So he's thinking in his head, I'll whirlwind you out as you go for another Focus Punch. I'm like, mate, Focus Punch is like -5 priority, whirlwind's like -7. So I go Focus Punch, and it crits. And I know you were expecting from the intro that I would be getting the hacks on me. No, surprisingly the other way round. Surprisingly. So I crit the Scarm. And then he brings in a Gallade again, and then his game freezes. He said that it just got stuck on the Go Gallade pose thing. So he kind of sat there for a bit waiting, and nothing happened. And then he just had to shut his game off. The thing that I didn't quite get was that it was still connected to him while it was saying Go Gallade. So that made me think that maybe the actual connection had just buggered up. So yeah, I'm just going to show you what happened there. It is a bit confusing and a bit weird, because I've never seen that before. Usually when the game freezes, it just DCs on the other end, but it didn't until he just turned his game off and gave up, which is understandable. But it wasn't such a bad thing, because now we can at least eliminate the crit from the Scarm, right? So it's a bit fairer, and, that's kind of what I was going for, you clueless bint of a Hags Goddess. Oh well. So we try this again. I just cut out all the waiting to get back into Wi-Fi wank. And, same leads, of course, because that's the fun and fair thing to do. Gallade, we're just going to replay moves till, I guess we get to the Scarm and we see if I kill it with a crit. It's about all that comes down to. Still, Marrow is a beast. I'm tempted to use Marrow more in 5th gen. Because I know I did the old Belly Drum Fit Club set, which ruined entire teams of just, it was so win. But I mean like a more conventional sub-punching thing, because it's such a beast. And there it does half to a Skarmory. So the min-max is obviously varying a bit. And I still think that's pretty respectable. Non-stout Focus Punch on a Skarm. So I go for it and I hit it again. And I don't kill this time, thank God. If I'd have gotten another crit, I would have just been like, oh, for fuck's sake. So, he wins me out, no worries. And in comes Gyarados. I'm like, oh, hey! Viablast, Hydro Pump, Stone Edge. I have so many things to hit you with right now. So many things. So ultimately, the crit was irrelevant. Although I suppose if I had got it again, I'd still have a marrow behind a sob. So I guess he'd have to probably sack his Gallade unless it was sashed. Although does Fitclaw? No, Boomerang break sash? Because it's kind of like double hit. The way I thought it worked was that since it goes twice, it breaks the sash on the first turn and then kills it on the second turn. It's kind of confusing like that. I never really understood how it worked, but I think that's how it is. Or unless that's it in 5th gen. Anyway, in comes Nuzzelf, and the last time I saw a Nuzzelf, it didn't T-bolt me. So I was like, it probably won't. It'll probably overpredict. But he didn't overpredict, and he T-bolted my gear and I die. I'm like, hey! Hey! I don't like that. I like my Gira. Gira is very quickly becoming one... Actually, Gira probably is one of my favourite pokes now. It's kind of weird. But I go on a Licky, because I'm Scarf, but Scarf Licky doesn't outspeed as many things as I wish it would, but it's still Scarf Licky, and it's still fucking amazing. And that's all that counts here. That's all that counts. Maybe if I just made it completely physical or special, well, I don't know. With a bit of experimenting, I'm sure I could find the right set for it. It's kind of like Scarf Tyranitar, in that, in its own right. Not, amazingly quick with a Scarf on it. In fact, it gets outsped by other normal pokes. But when you kind of need a bit of extra speed, it's handy. Again, there's Elf and things like Sceptile outspeed it. Fucking Sceptile, man. Anyway, he's sitting here waiting, wondering what the fuck I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna drink some more coffee. Yeah, I know it's not professional, but when have I ever been professional in any of my videos? People put all this crap on the side of the screen with what Pokemon's alive and dead, where the Stealth Rook is up, what status has been dealt, blah da blah da blah. I just sit here and I shout at the fucking computer screen for 20 minutes, and people find it just as enjoyable. Anyway, he T-bolts me, I Power Whip him. Power Whip really doesn't do as much as I thought it would, so I was like, is it bulky? And T-bolt didn't do as much as I thought it would either, especially when it's life formed. I'm like, this is very strange. Oh, that is good coffee, Jesus. So, he's thinking about it, and my game plan is I'm just going to go for it again. Licky will live another T-bolt, or should do. I think the last one did, 150? So I should do, but I'm kind of pissed because I won't be able to explode if he goes for it. But I will get rid of the Azelf, so it kind of amounts to the same thing. I would have exploded on it anyway if I didn't go Power Whip, so it's kind of irrelevant. I just get some Death Flutter out of it. That is some tasty coffee. That is a tasty burger. Alright, so we're sitting here. God, I really should have cut out more waiting. Kamon's kind of like X in the sense that he doesn't care what the opponent's got to do. He will sit there and he will think of every fucking avenue. Doesn't give a fuck. And I kind of respect that method of play, but at the same time I really hate it because I'm such an impatient fucking bastard. Alright, he switches out into an Arcanine, and I go Power Whip, and I miss, and it's like, okay, that's fucking irrelevant. He got an Intimidate on me as well. That would have done nothing! So I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to fucking Mr. Bean, and he's going to Will-O-Wisp me. I'm like, no! Once again, you fail me, Whiscash. Although, I suppose this time it wasn't strictly its fault. There wasn't much it could do there. But I sent in Mr. Bean just because I literally have no faith in him at this point. That's all it's come down to, Whiscash. I just don't like you. I like your 5th gen variant, where I actually swept so many things. But in 4th gen, you just suck dick. Mountainous piles of penises. That's what you suck on, Mr. Bean. So now that I'm burned, I'm thinking, well, I may as well DD now. Gotta try and hit something. I just have nothing to do. It's kind of annoying, really. But there's not much point wasting my stupid fucking Whiscash. Oh well. I'll get you one day, Mr. Bean. I'll get you one day, you bastard. Ugh. Anyway, once again he is thinking about this, and I don't know why, because he told me his Arcanine was bulky, and it's actually a very interesting set. I don't know if he'd want me to tell you it or not, but believe me, it's pretty interesting. Anyway, he's going to switch out, he's going to go into his Gallade, and I'm like, the last time Mr. Bean went up against a Gallade, I fucking lost, so I have no faith in this. And once again, I do lose. I believe I go for another DD, just 'cause I really had nothing else to do, and I'm not going to get any damage anywhere if I don't get +2. So that was my game plan. It didn't work out, because he close combat. And does Mr. Bean live this? I don't remember if he does. Oh, no, he does not. Once again, you failed me. God, I fucking hate that Whiscash. Like I say, 5th Gen 1 was amazing. Got tons of sweeps in for me. 4th Gen 1 just sucks dick. Now, I'm going to go on a Licky, because I'm going to outspeed the Gallade. And I'm going to go boom, because that's what I love my Licky. It just... When I don't like something, I bring in Licky, I go boom, it dies. Unless it's a ghost, in which case I just don't bring in Licky. In fact, I might end up putting Shadow Ball on it at one point. That's kind of what it needs, especially, wow. I know I ran one with Shadow Ball ages ago, but I don't know if I really found a usage for it, because a lot of ghosts, yeah, they're ghosts, but some of them just have dark thrown in there, or random shit, so it's kind of irrelevant. Anyway, I go into Dave, as he goes in with Zelf, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this. I don't want to waste Dave. I kinda like Dave. Dave's a fucking beast. He's so cool! I mean, So I don't know if I want to sit in for a T-Bolt, but I also remember how little it did to, Licky. And yeah, okay, Licky's a bit of a tanky beast, but I didn't have, well, I had enough faith in Dave that he might live it. It's kind of the Gyarados thing again. I'm kind of sitting here like, well, yes, it's super effective, and on Gyarados it's ×4 super effective, but judging by what I've seen before, it might not kill. Gyarados didn't live because it was at half health. Dave is at three quarters, so maybe... But he doesn't want to bite, so he's going to switch out. And he's going to go on a Gastrodon as I go for a Charge Beam. I'm like, that's just not good in the slightest. Shit. So I go Sub, and then I think, this is just a poor idea. It's a Gastrodon. It's a special monster. No way. I'd need +2 to probably get half. So I thought, this is a shitty idea. But what I should have done is sub down at least one more time. Because then I just bring in Dave and he's +1/+1, good to go. But I didn't. And as I switched out, I was like, this is a fucking stupid idea. But I go into Terry, and I don't like you, Gastrodon. You stupid slug. I'm just gonna fucking Dynamic Punch your shit in. That was what my plan was. Gonk Shot's not very effective. Ice Punch is just worthless. EQ's the boring option, and he has an Azelf. So once again, Dynamic Punch is my best bet. You know, why the fuck not? And, you know, Terry's been doing pretty good with them. He's probably hit more than he's missed by far. So, I have faith, but once again, Kamon decides to think about the options. Although that said, Terry does get Seed Bomb. And I think Solar Beam? Well, that'd be cool. Did it get Flamethrower? No, I don't think it does. I know it gets Ice Beam. I'd say that'd be a pretty cool sunset, you know? A bit of Specs Terry with Solar Beam and Fire Blast, but I don't think it gets Fire Blast, which is a shame. Poor Terry. Because he could do that, and it would be amazing. Once again, I'm waffling. Come on, Kamon. See, yeah, I should have cut this shit out. He's going to switch out. He's going to go on his Arcanine, assuming I'm physical, which is quite a big assumption there, Kamon, me old mate. I go Dynamic Punch and I hit, and I'm like, yeah, go Terry. Go Terry. You're such a beast. So I fucking hit the Arcanine. It doesn't do much, but it does enough, and I'm like, this is beast. Terry, you're so cool. You're so cool. Terry is easily MVP of this series. But I'm thinking, balls it, I'm going into Dave. I need to try. I have nothing to do. So he gets confused, and he hits himself. And I'm looking at that Axe Goddess, and thinking, oh, here we go, you clueless bit. And he gets snapped out of confusion. Goes Morning Sun. because he was quicker. He actually has a hell of a lot of speed invested in that thing, but it's also bulky, and it's designed to do quite a lot of jobs, actually. But I stopped down to 1 HP, and I've got my Pataya, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. And I go Shadow Ball, and +1, and it's Stab on an Arcanine, and it doesn't do much. And then he goes Fire Blast. I'm like, balls, what can that have missed, game? Oh. So, I'm at 1 HP, I can 2-hit KO the Arcanine. There is no way he's outspeeding me at this point, but I've just set up Dave too early. I set him up too early. So he's going to go into a Tyranitar, and he's going to kill me with Sand. And I was like, oh, you bitch. Oh. So the Tyranitar's going to win out on this one. You know, I do get a special defense drop, and I'm like, yeah. But it's fucking irrelevant. It's fucking irrelevant at this point. So I'm like, alright, Terry's going to hit another Dynamic Punch then. That's what this shit boy was down to. So I go into Terry, and he's like, do I really want to chance this? And he says, fuck no, and goes into Arcanine. And just, Terry hits another one. And I'm like, this is great. Terry's so fucking cool. 50% accuracy, huh? Not on Terry's watch, more like 100 bajillion% accuracy, so it can't physically miss ever, ever. And the Arcanine hits itself in confusion and dies, and I'm like, Jesus wept. Kamon is unluckier than me. Jesus. So I'm surprised out of my fucking... Terry's just a monster. Look at him. Doesn't that strike fear into the hearts of men? Yeah, you're all scared. You just don't want to admit it. So he goes into Gastrodome. And I go, well, fuck it, I'm here now. May as well. And I hit a third one. I'm like, oh my god. Terry's 3 for 3 on Dynamic Punches. And then he Earth Hours and kills Terry. I'm like, you are just MVP right now, Terry. You are just the MVP of this game. I was like, holy shit. Fucking Terry's just a monster. But it's still not over yet. I do still have my Marowak. So I go into my Marowak, and basically what I need is for him to hit himself in confusion. If I do that, I get off a Boomerang, I kill the Gastro easily, mind you. So I go for my Sob, and if he hits himself in confusion, it's kind of nearly over. But he snaps out and he Ice Beams. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the fair thing. Okay. So he's gonna Ice Beam me, I do Boomerang, and I do fucking kill the Gastrodon with just one Boomerang. That's how beastly Marowak is. It's nearly at full HP, for fuck's sake. So, yeah. Marrow and fucking Terry just did work. That battle. They just did work. Look at that! I mean, the first one's fucking 50, base 50 damage, and it did over half. That's insane. Marrow was such a monster. But yeah, he's going to bring in himself, and then I'm like, live it! No! And he explodes. So that's good game, Kamon. That was a lot of fun, I'll give him that. And like I say, the 3 Dynamic Punches hitting, that was insane. So he got hacked out, but he still pulled it out in the end. It's a good game, Kamon. I think that's the last for today. I don't fucking know anymore. Anyway, I will see you guys in a bit. Peace out.